Hey guys, Crystal Nichols here, and I'm going to do a little video over Plateau Busters. So sorry I'm running a little late for the video. I said I would do it at 4:40 and it's actually about 4:53, but I had a little kid come in my office covered in yogurt and had yogurt smeared all over her bedroom, so I had to clean that up before I could do the video. Anyways, I'm excited to talk to you guys a little bit about Plateau Busters today because I think that's one of the big things that really sets us apart as a team is being able to help people past plateaus and to really see success even long term and through the journey of their weight loss and their wellness path. So with that said, I'm going to give you a couple different scenarios and I'm going to talk a little bit about how to approach each one of those scenarios and really get past them. So the first scenario would be you're about a month to 8 weeks into your journey and you've rocked along really well, and you guys all know that in the beginning you're going to lose pounds, inches, kinds of in bursts, right? Not all at the same time. So the second 8 day, you're probably more likely to lose a big burst of inches more than pounds. But you might notice to where you get to a point where about a week to 2 weeks, you haven't lost any inches and any pounds. This is what we consider to be one of the first plateaus people experience. So with that, I really, and if you've been checking keto very consistently and you've been in a long run of keto, at that point, a good way to do a plateau buster would be to have a cheat meal, right? And just go ahead and, eat some carbs. Now, a cheat meal does not mean you go out and binge eat for 3 days. A cheat meal means you may add in some complex carbs. You may throw in some sweet potatoes and some fruit. You may have some things like that, maybe some mashed potatoes, something like that. It doesn't mean you go out and eat a 5-course carb load, right? So that's what I found to be successful in that particular situation. But then the next morning you get right back on. Now, warning, in that situation, you may have a bit of a carb hangover. If your body has been without carbs for that 4 to 8 week run, chances are you're probably going to feel kind of junky and you're going to want to get right back on the wagon. So that's scenario number one. Scenario number two would be that you've rocked along your journey and you've lost maybe 40 to 50 pounds. Maybe your goal is 70 to 80 pounds and you've hit a plateau where you feel like you just cannot lose any weight. You've done keto this whole time. You may really need to consider doing a couple of runs of the corporate plan. The corporate plan is more of a low calorie carb cycle plan where they introduce good carbs on day 3, 5, and 7 to really switch up your body and switch up your metabolism. But we've had a lot of success with this method. Very, very helpful. Situation number 3 could be that you started out initially in keto and you're not responding. You've tried maybe the corporate plan, you've tried a cheat day and you're still not having any success. May need to do a couple things. May need to cut dairy, first of all. I know that you can have dairy with keto, but some people are dairy sensitive and it can cause plateaus for some people over others. And I don't know why, but sometimes dairy can actually cause an insulin response in your body similar to sugars and carbohydrates. So it's interesting how some people work. So you might need to cut dairy and you may need to start tracking your macros. Now, some people will start tracking macros a little bit earlier on, which is totally fine. And so it can help you to really establish that good successful run. So some common macro placements, and you guys may have seen some other videos here, but would be to set them at about 1,200 calories, 70% fat, 25% protein, 5% carbohydrates. Okay, and you can actually go into MyFitnessPal and you can actually set those macros up to where you want them, and then you can focus on those on a daily basis. And I think that it really helps to have some accountability partners if you're tracking macros, because macros can be kind of tricky, but it can also be very rewarding because you can start to see some results very fast. So, and then especially if you're tracking macros, looking to do it for a stall breaker, I would highly recommend cutting out the dairy at that point too, making sure that you're only, all your fats are not coming from those dairy products, because dairy can be very high in fat and calories, but it's not necessarily the best source to get that good fat to help with that burn that we're really looking for in keto. So just keep that in mind. Also, you might keep in mind about which products you're using, because if you're using maybe just say lean and I don't know, Global Blend, you may want to really look at adding a few more of the weight loss products back in. I know that a lot of times we start off with a big kit, and then as our journey continues, we tend to taper off to just a few things, right? Well, if you're stalling, you may need to look at adding back in some products to help those underlying issues, because that's what our products do. You know, weight loss isn't a one-size-fits-all thing. The underlying factors are, and what our products really help address, are going to be hormones and thyroid function, appetite and energy, appetite control and energy, helping with those sugar and carb cravings. The products are also going to help with blood sugar. Like the trim sticks really helps with the blood sugar and regulating that out. The products are going to help with digestion and regulation and the gut health. Gut health is so critical to, especially women, for weight loss. You know, we've got to have that good gut health, and we all know that our immune systems and, you know, our guts are correlated with our depression and anxiety and all that kind of stuff. So it's so critical that we make sure we're taking care of all those underlying factors. So if you're having trouble and you're finding that you're not having success, you may need to look at what you're using and change it up a little bit. And that's also why it's important to work with your coach, because your coach can really help talk you through that and help you look at what you're doing. And then of course, you know, if the products and, you know, needing to get them paid for is something that you're looking for, we've always got the referral program. You know, that's something really cool too that you can talk to your coach about. You know, you get 4 friends started with you on this journey, you can make an extra $400 to $500 a month with that, and it makes it super easy to keep on product. And then you also have some accountability partners to help you out. So one more thing that you need to really look at is your water intake. Water intake is super critical. If you're at a plateau, you need to look at how much water. Maybe you've backed off the water and you didn't mean to. I don't know about you guys, but I've always got my big old gulp with me here. You know, I keep it full of water all day, every day, a little lemon. Trim sticks do not count as water. Interesting. You mix them with water, you feel like they're water, you're drinking them, but they are not water. They are a supplement that is in a liquid form, okay? So make sure that you're not using your trim sticks as water. And on trim sticks, those are another great way to bust your plateau. You know, if you're using only 1 a day, you might try upping it to 2 to 3. I've had a lot of people up their trim stick intake and really increase their weight loss and their fat burning. But that doesn't count as water, so you've got to still make sure that you're getting your water even alongside the trim stick. So you are going to be drinking a lot of liquid, but I don't mind doing that. So, you know, and it helps, what goes in must come out, and it helps keep, you know, everything flowing. So the bottom line is your body cannot metabolize a dehydrated fat cell, right? It's got to have that fat cell nice and hydrated so that it can metabolize it. And how does it metabolize it? Sends it through your body as waste. And that's important. So when you're going to the bathroom a lot, you know, on this journey, it's good. We're eliminating fat, because that's how our body eliminates it, is through that process, okay? So if you think about it, all that water you're drinking is helping flush the fat from your system, okay? Okay, so anybody have any questions? I've seen some people jump on. Thank you guys for taking the time to get on. I would open it up to some questions now, or we can come back and answer questions later, but I'd be happy to answer some live if any of you have anything. So just feel free to pop a question in here. Another thing on the dairy, going back to the dairy comment, a lot of people will eliminate dairy along the way. Almond milk, cashew milk, and coconut milk are not considered dairy. So that, you know, those things you can still utilize when you are, quote unquote, cutting the dairy, maybe trying to get past a plateau. So, okay, well, it doesn't look like anybody has any questions. If you guys watch this later on and you do think of some questions, please drop them in the feed and we will get them answered from the top coaches here. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch this. I hope this has helped. You guys have a great day. Bye.